Now, as the geopolitical chessboard shifts and the balance of power grows increasingly multipolar, a quiet yet significant realignment is unfolding in Asia and the Middle East. The recent convergence of ASEAN, the Gulf Cooperation Council or GCC, and China marks more than just a diplomatic gesture. It hints at a recalibration of global partnerships rooted in pragmatism, economic ambition, and strategic hedging. How sustainable is this, especially against the backdrop of intensifying U.S China rivalry? We speak with Hayyan. He's an analyst at the Asian Strategy and Leadership Institute, or ASLI, to unpack this further. So, Anas, given ASEAN's traditional stance of neutrality, how sustainable is this position amid intensifying U.S China rivalry, especially with the bloc's increasing engagements with both China and the GCC?
Well, thank you so much, Hafiz. I think the global community should really know that ASEAN is a force to be reckoned with. The market speaks for itself for ASEAN. We have a combined GDP that stands at about 3.8 trillion US dollars, making it the fifth largest economy in the world with roughly 450 million middle-class consumers. So these economic powers give ASEAN a strong voice and a strategic importance in the global order. That's number one. And coming back to your question, yes, ASEAN is still maintaining its neutrality. It has never closed its door to any major power, and it should not. And we understand that, of course, some ASEAN countries may have closer ties to either the US or China, but ASEAN as a bloc has consistently pursued a balanced approach in this sense. So what we saw at the recent ASEAN summit, if I may share, over the past 2 days really reflects, I think, this unity and this forward momentum as a bloc. We are focused on cooperation, dialogue, and mutual respect among all parties that is involved. And but if ASEAN has never behaved as a cohesive bloc, then it risks remaining divided and less influential. So leveraging collective economic strength and potential will be one of ASEAN's key strategic advantages moving forward.
Yeah. So, Anas, to what extent does China's participation in this trilateral framework enhance its influence within the Southeast Asia and the Gulf region? Could this be viewed as part of China's broader strategy to counterbalance US influence?
I really like to talk about this topic because I want to re-emphasize the need for ASEAN to engage with everyone. Of course, it is natural and necessary for ASEAN to engage closely with its neighbor, which is China, given their deep economic and historical ties. However, we must not forget that in the plenary session, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has also mentioned they have sent a letter to President Donald Trump to organize the US-ASEAN meeting. And so this shows ASEAN's commitment to maintaining balanced partnerships. But coming back to the questions, well, I would like to bring back the discussion on the partners that ASEAN is engaging. Because if you see the items discussed during the ASEAN-GCC China summit, it is perhaps the right thing to be discussed and to be espoused. Because first, they talked about the crisis in the world, and especially in Gaza, to call for the killing to stop. And another aspect was on trade, to establish a trade mechanism that is non-discriminatory and inclusive. So they are talking about the importance to uphold the role of WTO to protect the community in this region. And of course, they also talk about energy transition and based under the Paris Agreement. So these are the shared values. So if I can say that one thing is clear, it is easier to work with partners who are constructive and serious, no matter who that is, and we could see it now.
Yes, so what potential challenges or opportunities do you foresee? Because of course FTAs are also in discussion here. In the final minute that we have, maybe you can share with us what do you think about challenges and opportunities in negotiating such agreements?
I think we have already seen progress. ASEAN has already concluded the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area 3.0. And we could see the massive potential with over 25 trillion US dollars market and a population of over 2 billion people. So it is bringing the potential market that is bringing unique expertise, resources, and dynamic markets to the table. So ultimately, Hafiz, I think the key to success here for the region is it lies within building an agreements that are balanced, inclusive, and sensitive to each party's national interest.